You either use the internet for fun or you use the internet to grow. You're here to grow. Welcome to TRS Clips. What age pressure has been put on you in your life?
Honestly, I am very lucky with my parents. My parents don't put a lot of age pressure on me. I think a lot of the pressure that I have comes from myself only and based on the kind of things that I consume on the internet. Like currently, I feel like I don't know whether I want kids or not. Okay.
Really?
And for the longest time, I was very like, oh, I don't want children and I'm not interested in having children and whatever. I don't know if it's just a product of my getting older and my uterus trying to trick me, or it was a product of the fact that I warmed up to having kids in my last relationship, whatever. Um, Now I'm not sure. And one of the only things that I think frustrates me about the age thing is that women have a expiry date on their fertility, and so now I am going through this thing of like, should I freeze my eggs so that at least I essentially buy myself more time, because I know myself enough to know that if say like the baby fever like really kicks in, by the time I'm like 37, I just don't want to be one of those people who like does like a quickie wedding just so that I can have kids. Like I don't want to settle for someone who might not necessarily be right for me just because I don't want to miss the boat on having kids. So
Okay. I want to ask you so much more about this because this is something that guys don't ever experience probably until they're 50 or 60.
I heard apparently that's a myth that like male fertility also lasts for
Really?
like also has a expiry date, but I think it just becomes like significantly lower there rather than going away.
As in, it's difficult to get.
But I don't know. I'm not spreading pseudoscience on the show. Okay, like I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
That's a
I
fun
don't know.
statement. My point is, like, okay, when I have conversations with guys my age, we never talk about fertility. Okay, we talk about injuries and sometimes career pressure, the pressure of taking care of aging parents. That's another conversation that comes up. But we never have conversations about bio clocks and fertility. I see that a lot of girls who are my age or my friends, which is you and few other people, you guys talk a lot about bio clocks, and actually as a guy I kind of feel bad like a little bit because this is a very weird kind of pressure on you guys.
I mean, yeah, of course we talk about it because one, everyone is keenly aware that your fertility is not going to last forever. Second, on a very societal conditioning level, like we are kind of made to feel that our value lies in like us having children.
Like how?
So I don't know if I should talk about this, but you sent me a video recently about that, whatever, that girl who's like 35 years old and has decided not to have kids and like she wants to just live her life for fun. I went through the comments of that video. The video itself was really innocuous and it was like sweet and whatever. Went through the comments of that video and it was like 500 straight comments of like 99% men telling this woman that like, how dare you not have a child, what is this arrogance that you have in yourself to not have a child? Don't you know that the whole point of human beings is that we should procreate and we have to like whatever, further our lines? My god, what a conceited thought that your line is the one that needs furthering, but whatever. And it's just I don't know, like it feels like a woman who has decided like that, oh, I don't want children, she like somehow on some subconscious level just like loses value because the only thing that she has to offer society is that she can have children. And that in itself is a little bit shitty because we have more to offer the world, and it's like to put us into a box of like, oh, you are just here to like pop out the next generation so that our human line can continue, like is like a little sad.
What do girls talk to each other about when they're our age?
A lot of things.
About this topic, about this bio clock and all that.
Nothing. I think at the moment, the conversation that I've kind of been having with everyone is, are you planning to freeze your eggs? I'm planning to freeze my eggs.
And there are people who've frozen their eggs.
Yeah, and I don't know about people who have frozen their eggs. I think everyone that I know is like currently in the consideration phase because there are things to consider, right? Because there are storage charges and like it's not an easy process. It's not like gaye or bola 6 anda nikalo or 6 anda nikla, you know? Like it's like whatever. You have to, for 6 months, you have to do like hormone therapy, and like there's a lot that goes into it. So and it's obviously very taxing on the body also to have your eggs harvested.
What is hormone therapy?
Again, I don't want to like. You should talk to a doctor
All,
about
all,
it.
all I know is that it's supposed to be painful, like slightly painful.
No, so I think you have to take injections for like a few months so that like essentially your body starts producing more eggs. So your body essentially produces one egg per month, which eventually comes out in the form of your period when your like inner uterus lining kind of disintegrates. I don't know how much detail you want on this, but yeah, so like that is essentially what your period is. So your body basically releases one egg. Now, if you're trying to get your eggs frozen, you need your body to release more eggs than normal. So you essentially go through hormone therapy where you're giving yourself like hormone injections so that it releases more eggs at that time. That is at a very base level what it is.
Sperm freezing is so much more different.
Yeah, sperm freezing I guess is fun for you guys.
Sperm freezing is something we could do since we're kids.
Yeah, but you know what, women's healthcare is not fun for us at any stage. Like, so
At any stage.
I mean, no form of healthcare for us is particularly fun. Like, I had so while I was in the US, I found like a mass, and so then I went to the doctor to get it checked out and whatever. I cannot tell you a more dehumanizing experience than like going for those like scans and like just having stuff happen to you while you're like just standing like impotent, not knowing what to do. So yeah, it's not fun. Maybe it's healthcare overall that feels dehumanizing and you just feel like a sack of meat and you're kind of just reminded that you are literally a sack of meat that has like a few rudimentary thoughts. But yeah, it's not super fun. Gynac visits are not super fun.
There's no guy equivalent of this. Young guy equivalent. I think older guys, there is an equivalent where your prostate gets problems,
Yeah.
but there's no young guy equivalent of this. Like, I don't have to go to my andrologist. All the girls I know have a gynecologist. Like, they have a standard
Yeah,
gynecologist.
because a
they
lot
go
of
to.
women also have PCOD and stuff, right? Which you guys don't have to deal with.
There's no guy equivalent of it. Probably like maybe some cases of erectile problems, but that's as far as
I
it
mean, but
gets.
not at your age though, right?
There are psychological problems which turn
okay.
into erectile problems.
Okay.
But that's as
Learn
far
something
as
new every day.
that's as far as it goes for guys. With you guys, it's like it's a very complex system that requires a regular gynac visit, which I find
because
so.
we have very complex plumbing going on inside. Is all I can say.
What do girls go to gynecologists for in their early 20s?
Like a basic health checkup.
Just checkups.
Yeah, like you go to make sure that like you don't have PCOD, are your periods on track. Like a lot of the times you also go to check out like if you have like hormonal acne and stuff, you go get some tests done. That kind of stuff. In the US, things are a little bit more invasive than they are in India. Like in the US, it's not like super uncommon to kind of get like your vagina checked out and stuff, but I think here they try to avoid doing that still because I think there is like I think they just don't want to be too invasive, but at the same time I don't know who that's really helping. Like, health is health, virgin or not, you know, like.
New clips released at the same time that a podcast releases. This is TRS Clips. Make sure you subscribe.